Thank you, you Lord. I want to thank you, Lord. I want to thank you,
Hello, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to the live. I am Lady Rowe, and welcome to Lady Rowe's Kingdom. Today, I'm trying something new. I am going to be doing a Who Kept It the Realest on this week, is what I'm going to be doing. This was an idea that was brought to me by my co-host, Queen Script. And we decided, hey, let's do it together. Let's see how it actually pans out. So the title of this episode is called Who Kept It Real This Week? My top 5 standouts from Love and Marriage Huntsville. So you guys, I hope y'all enjoy this. But before we get into today's commentary, I want to show y'all something. Did y'all know that today was National Meatball Day? Did y'all know that? Anywho, March 9th is National Meatball Day. Yeah, that is a real holiday. And how could I not share a meatball recipe with everyone? So, y'all, I found this online. And I had no idea. I kept getting these text messages all day saying Happy National Meatball Day. And I'm like, what in the world is this? But y'all, it's actually National Meatball Day. So have a meatball on me. They have several recipes out there. Actually, when I went into the email, they show you all these different recipes, how to make meatballs, Swedish meatballs, Hawaiian meatballs, sausage meatballs, just all kinds of meatballs. So today is National Meatball Day. Happy National Meatball Day. Anywho, good evening, Symmetry. Lord forgive me. I'm so used to coming down here Saturday morning. Good evening, Symmetry. Good evening, All in Unity. Thanks for joining the live. Good evening, Brown Girls Rocks. I am so glad you guys decided to join us this evening. You didn't know it was National Meatball Day, and neither did I. Who would have ever thunk it? Who would have ever thunk it that they would have a National Meatball Day? But child, they do. Anywho, let me introduce my co-host today, Queen Script. Queen Script is going to help me navigate this. She has done all the work. I'm going to tell you that she's done all the work. Anything you see me put up or talk about, Queen Script did it. She did the work. This was something that, baby, she is in her lane. This is something that I believe she is going to navigate. Queen Script, you got something to say? Come on and join the talk today.
Hey everybody, I'm just excited that we're doing it. I think this
I can barely hear you.
can you hear me better now? Hold on a second. Let me see. Hold on. Is this better?
Mm-mm. You way low. I don't know why you would, because you were just really loud a few moments ago.
I know it was my
There
speaker.
we
It was
go. There
plugged
you
up.
go.
Okay, it's
There you
better
go.
now. Okay, good.
Mhm.
Sorry. I'm excited because we've been talking about this for a couple of weeks, and the shows are made for us to enjoy, right? And have
Definitely.
lighthearted fun. And I think this is exactly what this is going to feel like, and bring it back to why we enjoy the show.
Definitely. Definitely.
Simple.
So I'm asking
Hey,
everybody,
Cedric.
please like, share, and subscribe. Um, please like, share, subscribe, and comment. Fair use disclaimer: some material in this video is used under U.S. copyright fair use section 107 for purposes such as commentary, criticism, news reporting, and education. Giving you the real tea is over here with his popcorn and his eyeballs. Hope you see everything you need to see today, darling. All views expressed in this live, they are all alleged, or in my opinion, and they're all for entertainment purposes. Please don't go out of your way to dislike anybody that we talk about. We just up here having us a little good time, just sharing some information that we believe kind of helped us get through um this week's episode or this past week's, because as you know, Love and Marriage Huntsville comes on Saturdays. So we're gonna start with who I have in fifth. Is that how Queen Script? Who you have in number five? Let's talk about that first. Who's your number fifth?
Okay, so we're gonna start off with the bad news first, right? Okay, that's
Bad
good.
news. Bad
All right,
news.
so we're gonna start off with Tisha.
Okay,
Okay,
let's get her up on
she's
the
my number
screen.
5. Mm-hmm. Yep. She gave it real, but she was my least, you know, yeah,
Yeah,
because she showed her natural self this week. I'm gonna say it. And I think what we saw really, it still feels like tied to those unresolved feelings about Martell,
agreed.
because it's like that Destiny and Martell, when they're in the same orbit, something in Tisha starts bubbling up, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And I still think it takes back to, like someone we were discussing, it takes back to that she felt set up at that restaurant scene, you
Right,
know.
right.
But I mean, but on the other hand, let's be honest now. I have to play, both sides, because I've been listening for a while and I'm trying to get better at this, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Tisha has been doing reality TV long enough to know how this works, right? Sometimes production just puts people in the same room just because, well, that's the show. So, like, under normal circumstances, Destiny, I don't think she probably wouldn't set up a Martell and Tisha moment, but this is reality TV. It's not Sunday at grandma's, dinner at grandma's house. So at some point, Tisha might have to ask herself, is the issue really what Destiny's doing with Nell, or is it something that still needs to be settled with Martell? I'm just saying that, this week Tisha definitely gave us a reaction, an unexpected reaction for myself.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. I'm with you when
Mhm.
you're right. Thank you, T, for even coming by. I appreciate you stopping by to support. I appreciate that more than anything. Y'all, please like up the live. If you're in the bushes, wherever you are, please like the live. I'm gonna tell you this too. I put Tisha's number 5 as well. Um, her reaction again, it was, is it because of Martell? Is it something Destiny did? It was kind of confusing. I didn't really know where to go with that. So her reaction did catch me by surprise. Um, I believe that Tisha, you know how people kind of hold things in until they just explode. And I believe that may be where Letitia is. She kind of, held in this. She saw this, didn't like it, held it in, saw that, didn't like it, held it in, and then all of a sudden, bam, you know what I'm saying? Um, now I'm ready to explode. Miss AKA said, Tisha, you can't even communicate her feelings. All she can say is her feelings are hurt. And that is it. And maybe that's something she needs to work through in therapy. I don't know. But I will say that I don't think her reaction was, it warranted what had happened. I believe her reaction was harsh compared to what had actually happened. Thank
I
you for
agree.
joining Living for Me. Let me go through these chats real quick. Yeah, Tisha got to get it together. She definitely has, because this is a
Yeah.
pattern we're seeing with her. We saw it
Mm-hmm.
with the other cast member who's no longer on the show. We saw that with her. And it's kind of passive aggressive if you really want to think about it that way. Um, do you think it would be passive aggressive, Queen Script? I'm really thinking about what just happened on this episode.
I'm not sure if it's passive aggressive. I just think that she has a lot of feelings, and I'm not going to speak to her feelings that she's not really expressing to the right people in the right ways at the right time. Because her and Destiny could have had a one-on-one discussion way before that sit down,
I
And I'm
agree.
still trying to understand. I'm not saying it was an ideal situation, but Nell
Mhm.
has a relationship with Destiny too. You cannot throw out the relationships that are important to yourself for someone else's feelings. That's not fair to you. So,
I
like,
agree.
remember Marceau told Tisha a while ago, watch her. Remember that?
I
When
remember.
referring to Destiny. So I think that's still sitting in her head, because her husband did say that. And I'm not going to say he's right or wrong. That's how they, feel about her. I'm not in that circle. But
Right.
I think those things play an important part in how she assesses a lot of situations, what is said to her. And unlike Marceau, who knows how to play the game a little better, Tisha's very emotional. So, yeah, I
I
was kind
agree.
of,
I agree
yeah,
with
I
that.
like her, but I was disappointed in her. Very.
That was me. I was very disappointed. Brown Girls Rock said it was a hard reach. And then Miss AKA said it made her look very immature. And I have to agree with that.
Very.
But I will say this, you know how someone can come to you and plant a seed of doubt, like just a little bitty seed, and that little
Yep.
seed will just take sprout and it will grow. And
Yep.
I didn't really think about it, till Queen Script just mentioned about Marcel saying, hey, you might need to watch her. And so I think that when you think of it that way, there could have been the seeds of doubt planted
Mm-hmm.
and then they just grew. I think
Yep.
that may be it. um who you have next for number 4? We completed 5. Who you got next for 4?
Okay, I'm gonna say that's definitely Chris Fletcher. Okay,
Okay.
now
Okay,
he
I'm with you
deserves
on
some
that one.
attention to me. Now, what's your
Uh-huh.
four?
With Chris, I I'm not quite sure because I'm gonna tell you what I found with Chris. When they sat on the sofa on this past week's episode, and Chris Nell was really having an emotional breakdown, which kind of came abruptly. Like there was one thing that he said that set her off, and then she just got upset, right? But Chris, his reaction was very lackadaisy, like he wasn't moved by it. And then I heard him also tell her, if I get upset when you're upset, one of us that won't have a level head. Both of us have to have a level head. Um, so I believe I put Chris as number 4 as well, but I did it because I believe he's trying to hold up a strong front
Mm-hmm.
because he is the head of the family. I am the man. I am
Mm-hmm.
the one who has helped make decisions. I am the guy with the real estate license. I am the guy who is a real estate broker. I am the guy who has made decisions when it comes to buying homes and buying buildings, because we saw him last year buy the boutique for Nail. So or not last year, he bought that boutique. So I think it is, and Queen and Symmetry says she's all, Nail's always having an emotional breakdown, which is the truth. But
Mm-hmm.
I also believe that he's feeling the pressure of mounting. I don't believe he
Mm-hmm.
would have came out and even told us that he had lost or his license had been revoked and his broker license had been revoked if it had not been for the crowd or the public constantly saying something about that we saw. People knew that his license had been revoked because people Google those things. So they had to address it because it was out there. So that's just my take on it. But I put him as number 4 because I feel like he's having an issue navigating his life around not being employed at this present moment. And
Mm.
we see him a little bit more vulnerable than before. I will say that. I'll use those
Okay.
words.
Okay.
Mhm.
Well, I put him at 4 because to me, this is the most you've seen about their personal, like their business concerns. Like they've already
Definitely.
had other things going on personal, like with the daughter, his daughter,
Mhm.
and all that. But this is real life, like serious. Chris, when you saw how they started the scene, they highlighted the house, right? So
Right,
right
right,
there,
right.
I'm like, that's a beautiful house, right?
Oh my
Come
God, it's
on.
gorgeous.
I don't
It's
care
gorgeous.
where you live, that house is beautiful. Meaning
Gorgeous.
that Nell has her child care facility, so I know she holds down a lot. But Chris is a mortgage broker in that town. There's a lot of money in Huntsville, you know. There's
Right.
no money and then there's a lot of money. They don't have a strong middle class places like that, right? So he
Mhm.
sells a lot of houses. And if you've been doing real estate year after year, your name is synonymous with like certain groups. So Chris, I'm sure he has a very good reputation and has customers that have been with him for 20 years since he started, 30 years. So for him not to be able to practice, because he's not employed, he's an entrepreneur. See, he could
Correct.
find another job probably, but to work for himself and make the level of money he makes,
Man,
that's he's not going to be able to do that just so
I agree
quick.
with
So
that.
I think him showing that. okay, you might have seen it as Cole. I saw it as like a father and a husband trying not to break. Yeah, he said some things I thought were dismissive of Nell. You know,
Mhm.
I think he downplayed what she does, you know.
Right.
But I will say, I think he's kind of stuck because he doesn't know what to do and he doesn't want her to know that. You know, so
Right.
I give him credit for that because he also said he has to just take accountability however it comes out. He didn't try to say it was somebody's fault or anything. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
I'm
Right. He
gonna
did
give
say
him
that. He
credit for
took
that.
him.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
give him credit. So for him to be a grown man and say, I'm like, all right, Chris, all right, go ahead, grown man. You know, a lot of things he did and the way, you know, they sat on that couch. The age that they are, that has to be very, they have to be worried. They have to be concerned. So, and we'll
Have to
speak to
be.
that when we talk about now. But I thought
Okay.
he gave a lot of reality when he spoke about losing his broker's license. I do.
So
That's a
what
lot.
so what is your take on him asking her about partnership with the daycare? What did
He's gonna do anything right now that he could think of. I don't think he means that. I think
Okay,
he's just trying to say something to do something because he doesn't know what to do.
gotcha.
So, you know,
Okay.
have her think he's thinking the things and it just came out wrong. I don't really take much of that. You know, I think he
Okay.
diminished her. I think he diminished. Now, I will say I didn't like the way he was acting like, well, you can't do what I do, but I could just jump in and do what you do. You talking about dealing with kids? There's a lot more
That's
at
true.
stake with children
That's
than a
true.
house. Maybe you know. I'm sorry, just personal in a personal matter. Now you
Mhm.
can get a real estate license, sell a certain amount of houses, and become a broker. Anybody can do that if you don't have a full. Sometimes even if you have a felony, some places. So, yeah,
Yeah.
stop saying that. Stop
Yeah.
diminishing that later. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's about it for them.
I
Mhm.
love that point of view. I love that point of view because when they sat there, I guess I overlooked that. Because I didn't see it like that. Because that is true. You think about being a caregiver, you have to be CPR certified. They want you to have training and certifications to even have a nursery or a daycare. So I think that and we also saw last season where she was trying to get these stars because that meant she could get more money from the government. So I, I'm with you with that Queen script because I did not
Mhm.
think about him trying to diminish her
But she,
job
yeah,
versus his. Yeah, I
yeah,
agree.
she's an entrepreneur too.
Yeah,
That's, I mean, most businesses fail. Let's be, most people with businesses fail. For them to both still be in business all these years later, that's a testament to what we always say is black excellence, right?
agree
Give
with
people
that.
their props.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Miss AKA said, I understand baby St. Clair, AKA Neil's point of view, but she belittles him on camera, in my opinion. Yeah, I agree with
Uh,
that.
yeah.
He's definitely feeling the pressure. All in unity, you're right. He's definitely feel that pressure is the
Mm-hmm.
pressure is getting greater. It is
Mm-hmm.
getting greater for real. Yeah, she does
Mm-hmm.
kind of belittle him. Good afternoon, that's me, AD. Thanks for joining. She hollers and belittles him, and then he has to go and call in her car and wipe her tears. And you know what? When he went to her, she wasn't real receptive to him trying to coddle her. Um, and that could be how she was raised. I don't know. And we'll probably get into that more when we get to Nail on this because we only have five. We didn't do everybody. We only did five people. Our top five people that we thought actually gave us the most in this episode. I'm sorry, I don't have my that's okay. That's okay. We read typo because child, I be making typos. Um, I didn't like the way she put him on Front Street and said, "You on my payroll." I didn't like that either. I didn't like that either. I have to say that. Queen Script, did you have any feelings about that when she said, "You on my payroll"? You go to Martell say he be seeing you at Sam buying stuff, but you get
No,
paid
no,
for it.
because it was the truth. If you're going to talk about what I'm doing, can I just come and jump on in and run your daycare center? Then I'm going to say you on my payroll. That's right.
Okay,
She's a businesswoman. He's a businessman. Do not diminish my accomplishments. I felt that was very condescending for him to say that to her. So whatever, however she responded, and he knows how his wife going to respond. He love it over
definitely.
there. He
He
loves
does.
it over there.
Yes,
So
yes.
I think that he just in closing, I think that he gave a lot more than I expected, considering how how much it's affecting them financially and how embarrassing. Let's be for real, it
Right.
is. I think he did really well in owning
Mhm.
up that he has to be responsible for it and
I agree
showing
too.
vulnerability. Yeah. Mhm.
And, the next thing is Chris has been kind of tight to the chest. He hasn't really let us in on a lot of Chris. We don't know a lot about Chris Fletcher. We don't know, a lot about his background or anything other than he sells houses and he's a real estate broker. We don't know his parents. We hadn't seen a sister or brother. None of that. So I was happy to see him. Not that his license are revoked, but I was happy to see him being open and sharing with the group. Pretty Riri speaks. Hello, good to see you. Miss AKA said, I understood what he meant about her not having a brokerage license. You have to have that. But in a daycare, you have to have some other things as well. So I kind of feel both of them. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah, it
I
takes
felt,
time.
yeah,
You build a business. You don't just come out a daycare, a brokerage. It takes years to build those. So
mhm.
yeah, they're both, they're just both feeling pressure. But this number three is going to be interesting because that's where we kind of broke apart, I think.
Yeah, I
On
think
number
so
three.
too. Miss AKA, I was with you when I watched the episode. I was like, well, she don't have a broker's license, but I do now that you think about she said she's been doing the daycare for years. So, that all goes into it. Please like the video. You guys, please get in there in these comments and let's talk about it. I think this is a great segment to have because this actually stimulates the thought process when it comes down to this show. I'm loving it. Country said adding her ailing dad to the mix adds additional stress.
Yep, we're about to get to that symmetry.
Yeah,
You are
we
so
are.
right. That's
Yeah,
what I think.
definitely.
There's a lot of variables, involved with Nell
Mhm.
and the way she acts. I think I'm kind of understanding her. So I'm gonna let
Yeah.
you go ahead and do your three, and then I'll do my. Well, you tell me how you want to do
So
it because we have to.
we're gonna keep it on this roll like we're doing because
Because our
so
threes are
far
different.
we had the same two. 5, 4. Uh
Mm-mm.
our 5 and 4 was the same person. So we're gonna keep
Right.
rolling.
Okay.
Living for Me said her father was at the wedding. His father was at the wedding renewals. I'm gonna
Beautiful.
have to go back and look. That's been so long ago. You would think they would incorporate more because we saw Mama Marlene and we see Miss Wanda,
Mm-hmm.
but again, I would like to know more about. We know her mother's not living anymore. We now have the father in the house. Hopefully, we'll get to see her father some. But it will be nice to know more about Chris's upbringing, his background. We know
Mm-hmm.
what Martell, we know what Marsau and Maurice went through. So it'll be nice to be able to see a little bit more of him. And Miss AKA says she sees both sides of it. I don't know if I skipped that.
Yeah.
Hey, Susie. Thank you. You said I agree with you, ladies. It seems Chris paid all household bills.
That's right. Nell Fussett. Listen, he loves it over there. That's all I'm
Yeah,
gonna say.
I agree with that too.
So who's our number
Listening and
three? Let's move
driving.
on to our number
Hey,
three because I'm
everybody.
excited for this.
You are. Give me 1 second. Let's get finished. We on our last comment. They speaking to each other. Hey, Lady B, thanks for joining. She said she's driving. Hey, everybody. Chris probably
Hey,
jeopardized his license with somebody in his family or a friend. I'll look. I'll look. It's
you
revoked very
looked at
fast.
it. We're gonna talk
Yeah,
about it. We're gonna do a
yeah,
segment on it. Remember,
yeah,
a little
yeah.
short, just to kind of break it down. But I think it was to help somebody too. I don't think it was
Yeah,
just for him
I
to
agree with
make.
that.
That's
I
why I
believe it
think
was
Nell
probably a
said that.
friend or a family member as well, too.
Yeah,
I
I
agree
think
with
that's why Nell said if you would have asked me,
right,
she
right,
would have probably had a different take on it and said not to
hmm
do it. You know what I'm
right,
saying? It's that family. Like I don't think that's a good look. But he didn't ask her. Men are prone to do that. They think they know everything, as you can tell from that segment when he
correct.
belittled her. And as usual, the woman was right. Anyway,
That's true. Live for Me said that ain't Chris on that picture, girl. We have to do a little tweaking around here, using a little bit of
that
AI,
is
so we
Chris.
don't get
It's
in
it's
much
it's
trouble.
my reimagining of Chris.
If that's a good looking Chris, girl,
Chris fine now. Chris ain't nothing ugly about Chris. Nella and Chris are a nice looking couple, both of
they
them.
are a beautiful couple.
They're
I
a
will say
very
that
beautiful
they
couple.
are a
So
beautiful
yeah.
couple. So
Mhm.
who's your number 3? Let's move on.
My number three is Kimmy.
Oh
Okay.
Lord, she's my number. Okay, she's not my number 3, but go ahead.
Okay. So now let's talk about Kimmy from this point of view.
Okay.
Um, what I saw from her in her face, not all her actions, a lot of acceptance is coming to Kimmy, right? Because she loves Maurice, and that's clear. You know what I'm saying? But actually,
Hmm.
she's also lived life as a single woman for a while. She's very educated. She
Yeah.
has her real estate license. She has property. She's been independent on her own. She knows what she deserves. Okay. And I think with her near death experience, that changes how you approach his relationships too. So she just doesn't strike me as someone who's going to always sacrifice her happiness just to keep the title of wife. You know, I think she knows she's going to be all right no matter what.
Hmm.
So I'm just I don't like what's happening, but something in me says I'm placing my bets on Kimmy. She's going to be all right no matter how this turns out. I do. I feel that way about her.
Okay. So this was your number three, am I right? Or
Yeah,
this is your
because it wasn't new. Like she would have been
okay.
higher up for me if like
Okay.
Chris and Nell, this real estate thing is new, right? It's the new stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
They already discussed it, so that's why she's not as high up for you. So you go ahead and do
Okay.
your yeah.
Okay. So my number three is Nail. I'm putting Nail at number three because I felt like her story was not as strong as my number two. So Nell's storyline, of course, it centers around her daycare. It's right now we're seeing it centered around financing, her husband not his license being revoked, her father moving into the home. Um, she talked about getting a nanny. She needed a nurse, a nanny, and a program director. She talked about having to pick up the extra weight where that Chris's money was taken care of. Because she said she didn't have 12 months for him to get his license together. I don't have that amount of time. And I really feel like the very fact that she seems so overwhelmed, that's why I put her at three, right there next to her husband, where I thought she needed to be. And I love the fact that we're being able to see a family who actually has something seriously going on that we can gain maybe some knowledge, some information from, and some good marital things, because they don't seem like their marriage has a lot of holes in it other than the outside circumstances that may be affecting their relationship. I believe that Nell loves Chris. I believe she loves her family, but I believe that they have overwhelmed this lady. And she may be one of those kind of people that just has a really short fuse and snaps off really fast. And I don't know the reason why. Because that's really what I want to know. Like, what makes you automatically go from 0 to 10? What makes you go from you having a very monotone conversation with your husband, and y'all are talking about the fact that he lost his license, and then when he says, well, you don't have a brokerage license, and you just go, what? And it could be just the pressures of him not having a license. I mean, his license being revoked. It could be the pressures of having to help raise two more grandbabies, the pressures of children, young men constantly in your pocket or constantly needing something or getting in trouble, those constant pulls, the pressure of running a daycare without all of the people that you may need to run a daycare, program director, all of the staff, all of the cooks, because we know, as well, everybody don't know, but if you could think about entrepreneurship and think about owning a daycare, you have to provide meals, you have to change diapers, you have to have people to oversee these children, because I believe there are quotas to the amount of children that you can have in a
There
class
are.
with
There are.
people watching. Yeah. So with people
Mm-hmm.
watching over them. So I really believe that she just may be under a lot of pressures that we don't see. When the cook don't show up, she may have to be the cook. When the staff don't show up, she may have to get in there and roll up her sleeves and change diapers and teach a class. We don't know what she's going through. And every day is something different. But the reason that she goes from 0 to 10 needs to be studied. And I don't know what it is that will get us to that point. But she's my number three. She's my number three. And we're just gonna leave it at that. Queen Script, let's I know she's your number two. So let's go ahead and let you talk about your number two since I already finished my three.
Okay, well, the same reasons that you said about now, is what I felt like. It's really about something very real with security, especially at her age. We're not talking about a 20, 30, and that ain't even 40 something woman, right? So you show that beautiful house, the life she's
Right.
built. And then when you reach a certain age, that stability and security becomes extremely important, right? So she's been in the same industry since she was like 18 or 19, right? That's decades
Mhm.
of consistency,
That's
right?
true.
So the responsibility of the two grandchildren, her daddy living in the house, and the household, her sons, and this, they all require support, right? I mean, she needs three more people: a nanny, a program director, and household help. That's a lot, right?
That is a
So
lot.
the shift of things financially, of course, she's going to feel that pressure. How's she going to pay for all these things, right? So I'm sure Chris has money saved, but there's a reason. It's like a really big emergency. Nell is spoiled, which is a beautiful thing. I love to see black women spoiled. Their husbands spending all their money on them, right? But that's what she's used to, I believe. Okay. She does her part. I don't believe she's not doing anything. Don't get me wrong. But she doesn't have to worry like that. And
Right.
for the first time in a long time, I'm sure they had times where they had, but probably in a long time, she really has to worry. And this
She
is not
really has to
a good
worry.
time in this country for many people, right?
Oh yeah.
So,
Sure.
and I think didn't they move Nassau, some part of Nassau, more departments to Huntsville? So there's a lot of money coming into Huntsville with these real
Right.
estate deals.
Right.
People with money coming in with contracts, they need to buy houses. He's missing a lot of money, right? So
Yeah. And
all
not only
that
that
going through
too,
her
but
head.
think about it like this too. She owns a daycare, right? So when we talk about being overwhelmed,
Mm-hmm.
Huntsville's population is a younger population, right? They're
Mm.
because it's a college town. So you
Mm-hmm.
have
Mm-hmm.
people going to school, they get a job in Huntsville, they don't leave, they stay there. So when they stay there, they start having families. Guess what they need? They need daycare.
They need to hear you. But he better
So
start getting busy. So I guess that's why he said you need a partner, because
mhm,
honestly, maybe it sounded crazy, but when you put it that way, with him having so many business connections, he could probably hype up her daycare. But is that what she really wants at this age? That's a lot. She
that is a
wants the
lot.
money, but to grow in your business, it's just a lot they're dealing with. And that's why I said to me, Nell was too, because for me, she gave me insight into why maybe she acts the way she acts. Like
Yeah.
that lady got a lot of stress,
Got a lot on her. You're
a
right.
lot of
I didn't
fear,
think about that. Mm-hmm.
and it's well founded fear. It's well founded. I see why she has stress. I just hope she gets the help and assistance that she needs, because she doesn't have a lot of daughters, to help her. It's all
Right.
men around her.
She has the daughter and then the niece that's there. And I'm
Yeah,
not sure how much the niece helps. I know the daughter works at her daycare,
right.
but I'm not so sure how much and you know what? To be honest with you, can't always hire family to work for you no way.
I
So
would want her
that's
to
the
work
whole
there, but I'm saying in the house,
yeah.
like just with the
Oh
just the
yeah,
stuff
in
in the
her house.
house, like
Mhm.
who's really
Yeah.
backing her up in that house. When you have a
There
bunch of
you
men,
go. I
let's
got you.
face it, it's going to all be on her. So this is the first time I really could say I really understood Nell much more, and I really empathize with her. Maybe I'm just trying to adjust my thinking too. So it was heartfelt. Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you that's great insight, Queen Script. Great insight. Living for Me said this is making us see a difference in Nail with the loud mouth to knowing why her mouth is loud, aka stress release. Child,
Exactly.
yes,
That's all she
yes.
can do. She feels
Mhm.
like she can't do anything but that in the moment. So hopefully she'll get, things will get better for them.
Yeah. Stu said, in my opinion, 0 to 10 shows a lack of communication skills. Possibly, but it could be a stress reliever as well. Because that's the one thing she keeps saying. She can't really take all of this. Like, this is too much. She said that over and over and over. It could be a lack of communication skills combined with the fact that she's overstressed and she doesn't know
Look,
how to
that's what
relieve it.
therapy will
There you
help
go.
her, because she would be able to
Definitely.
talk. She doesn't have anywhere she can go to talk where a person doesn't have a vested interest in the outcome.
Mhm.
You know what I'm
And you
saying?
need and you
That's
need
what
those
therapy gives
tools.
you, a place to speak to somebody about everybody, and everybody you could talk about and everything, without that person, running off, and they don't have an interest in a sense in the outcome except to make you feel more in control and how to better deal with your life. And that's what she needs help with, I think.
Right. Brown Girl Rock says, I got a feeling that is just who she always is. She's been yelling since she's been on the show. She has been. But this week, we didn't see just the yelling. We saw the literal breakdown. Like,
You saw the why.
yeah, we actually saw her like
Yeah.
break down. And now we know she's moved her father into the house. Who knows what her father's actually dealing with? Is he dealing with
I
dementia?
promise you,
Is
if
he
you a
dealing with
caregiver,
unable to walk? Yes, I've been
She's
there.
she.
That's a lot.
I'm sorry, caregiver, business owner, husband just lost his license, two new grandbabies. Look like the other son might have custody. She is taking everybody's weight. Man, listen,
Mhm.
I get why she's feeling like that. I'm not nowhere near, certain things with her, but there's a strong sense of empathy. Taking care of an elderly parent, and a lot of us here know about that. It's a
Yeah.
lot. And then
Yeah.
you're still dealing with your other stuff. Your mother's already gone, and now you're
Right.
looking at your father leaving. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I
Right.
feel bad for her. I do. I just not feel bad, just empathize because Nell don't want
Empathy.
nobody
Yeah,
feeling bad for her. Yeah, she don't
definitely.
want that.
And another thing is too, you're dealing with all of this while still grieving your mother. So it could be a compounded
It's a
situation.
lot.
Mhm.
Yes.
All in Unity says she is the superwoman to the family. She likes that position, but she is truly stressed, but doesn't want to give up that superwoman role because it makes her feel important.
There's
What do you think?
nobody else there if I'm looking at it. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm trying to see what other women in her family. It's different when you don't have a lot of women. I see the difference in my family with older relatives and stuff. It's
Right.
different when it's more than just you. Even though it's overwhelming, having a sister or daughter that to take some weight makes a big difference. When it's just you, she
Yes.
doesn't have any older daughters or any sisters that seem to, I don't know, maybe they'll explore it, but yeah,
And
you're right. We'll see.
you have two boys that you want to see make it, but they are sucking the life out of you. I agree. I think we're missing a piece of his puzzle. Can she screaming, yell her kids, continue to take from her? It's just strange. I feel bad for us. That's from Susie. Susie, I agree with that. I feel bad for Nell. Her grown children are sucking the life out of her. It's too much. And I believe that it is too. Brown Girls Rock says, I get it. Yeah, I
Yeah.
get it. I believe all those things that you said about Neil, I totally agree with. You had her in number two. I had her in number
They
three.
gave it up. Hunt Chris gave up reality. We watch it for reality. And if we're
Hmm.
doing a 5-1, Hunt and Chris, they
Yeah,
gave up their reality.
they
And they,
gave.
they
I
did
agree
it
with
in a
that.
great way. Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. They did give us. They gave us the reality, and I probably should have had her in number two too. But instead, this is my number two.
Go on now. Told you. I
So,
told you.
I make Kimmy my number two because it seems as though I'm gonna tell you, she gave us some reality and she gave us some bull swanky all at the same time. Kimmy clearly loves her husband. I believe that is indeed true. Um, but I believe that Kimmy kind of relates to things differently than most people. We saw her sitting out on the patio or the lanai talking to her husband. And she said, he asked her, what are you doing out here? And she said, I'm just relaxing, enjoying whatever. And they begin to have a conversation. That conversation about him, it's almost like she's having to drag a child, like she's educating a kid at all times. And that's why I think that is part of her reality. She talked about Monster or Maurice Jr. going off to college. That was one of the things that she said she was glad for. Um, and then her husband Maurice says, well, I think it'll be better once he's gone. We'll kind of get things back together. I'm not so sure that will happen because you'll still have Mr. Philosophical, um, who really isn't giving us much philosophically, right? He's just out here talking about it. I think that Kimmy spent a lot of time being single, so that makes her kind of want to fight for her marriage more than most people would. Because when you're single, because I know a lot of single ladies are always, I want to be married, I want to be attached, I want a man, da, 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 da. And I know a lot of married women say, I want to be single, I want to be single, I want to be single. So I really feel like when you've been single a long time, you want to be married. And then when you get married, sometimes you're questioning because I don't want to feel like a failure, especially when you've been, because I don't know, I don't think she was married to Jalen's dad. And so just
No, I
imagine
don't
all
think
the.
she ever was married before.
Mhm. So I think
Hmm.
this is her first marriage, and you don't want to wait so long to get married, and then wow, I'm a failure, because that's what you feel like. And then you have other women who are swinging those little penises in your face. I got a husband, not realizing that don't really make a person, but that will make someone feel bad if they don't have a husband, and everybody else that not everybody, but their friends out here swinging their. That's just how I feel about Kimmy. So that's why I gave her number two. I feel like she'll be okay regardless of if she stays with him or not. But I
Hmm.
do feel like that where she gave us a little bull swanky at was when she was sitting at that table with Destiny and Tisha, and she said, she started kind of getting on Tisha's side when it came down to Destiny.
Hmm.
I didn't like that. I didn't like that,
Mm-hmm.
Kimmy. I'm talking to you, Kimmy. I didn't like it. But
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we saw the messy side of her, which may be a part of her reality that we don't really get to see a lot. Um,
Mm.
and or we don't even maybe we see it, but we don't hone in on it. You know what I mean? I
Mm.
think this gave me an opportunity to see her differently. I actually honed in on the fact that she is messy, can be messy, and that's just where I went with that with her. For my number two. Let me go, we'll go through these comments real fast, and then we're gonna get on to number one. And I think we kind of both agreed on this number one. Kimmy in denial. She don't want to be the one people say I told you so. Maurice don't respect that lady. Is sad to watch. That came from Herden, Cassandra Herden. And Cassandra, you're probably right. And I think that's kind of what I was trying to say. You don't want to be the one to say, "Oh my God, I waited so long to get married, and my marriage failed." Even though
Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, I think it's her. She's been successful in her life, right? She was living a decent, good life. She's a nurse, she's making good money.
right,
But however, like you said, most people do not want to be alone, and especially if you've never been married. Like you want to try it at least once. Not everyone, but enough women from a certain generation. You also have to look at the age and the women that she's around. Like you said, most of them are probably married or have been married. People were
right.
marrying more, the age that she is, right?
Mhm, mhm.
So it's abnormal for someone to say in their 50s or late 50s they've never been married because we were getting married, back then, right?
True. That's true.
Okay. So she satisfied that check mark, right? Life check mark. She satisfied that check mark, a degree. She, was able to raise her son and, and do everything that she needed to do. So she got married. But then
Mhm.
she became sick, right? When
Right,
she became sick, I just think that Maurice, he stuck it out with her, but look how he was. Look how he did her, right? Look
right.
how he is. You're really starting to see them finally because of different things that are going on in Kingdom Reigns. And I'm glad they're doing this because they're really showing people's real personalities, right? So
Definitely.
nobody's a good or bad guy. Any episode, everybody has their stuff like real humans. Maurice is a single married man and has always been. And that is why
Woo!
Jalen doesn't like him. He's a typical single married man. You know he's married. His clothes smell good because his wife not put all the fabric softener in. She might have sent it to the cleaner, starts down. His hair's always cut. He looks very well taken care of, but he approaches you like he's single. And the minute I know you're married, how do you know you have all that fabric softener in your clothes, sir? I know somebody take care of you. He
Right,
strikes me
right,
as that
right.
type of man.
Walking
He
by
does.
smelling like Downy.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
He he
yes.
he he acts like this. And Kimmy, as far as him respecting Kimmy, he doesn't respect himself
There you
because
go.
he's a lawyer, right? And even
Mhm.
if he is going to act a fool, he has no discretion. And that saying that discretion is the better part of valor is so true. If you're discreet, nobody has nothing to talk about. He gives them, like she basically was saying, "You don't protect me," right? He would not protect any woman he's with because he's only about himself. And I still think a lot of it has to do with he need to put down some of that brown juice. And let me shut up because I see
That
I'm
part.
going wrong. I'm trying to
That's
get
okay.
better,
That's okay.
but
You're right. You're right on that.
I think that has a lot to do with it. And he's in a lot of denial
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
his problems. Okay. And
Mhm.
Kimmy is starting to see it, and I think she's like, you know what? If this ship go down, I don't want to be on it. So I might love you, but I did this thing called life alone before, and I know I could do it again in
Do
peace.
it
And I don't
again.
know if he
That
want to
part.
take care of her if she gets sick again. And I'm gonna say it just like that. I hope he would, but the way he's acting now that she's home and she's good, I don't like it. I don't like it. And more men leave you when you're sick than stay with you. So I
That's a fact.
wonder if he's worried about that happening and he doesn't have it in him to give
Mhm.
her any more than he gave. And I'm gonna shut up on that because I'm gonna get in
I'm gonna
trouble.
let's I'm gonna expound on Kimmy because we only have one left. Um, with Kimmy, one thing that I do want to address the very fact that Kimmy is well versed, RN, bachelor's to prepared RN, real estate broker, owns the first black title company in Huntsville, Alabama, and has a lot of real estate. She has a lot of things going on for her and Jalen actually partnership in owning properties together. And I believe they own a business together. I'm not really sure, but I know they own real estate together. And they've taken on doing some objects. But I will say that Kimmy, if her and Maurice divorced today, she gonna be okay. She's gonna be able to move through life. And guess what? Some man's gonna come along and sweep her up off her feet. If
I
because
agree.
Maurice, I don't believe he respects her enough. Any man who would go on live television, well, not even
Mm-hmm.
television, on the internet, on a podcast, and say, I appreciate her because she was willing to roll over and take it while she was taking chemo. That is a lot. That's a lot for
He would do
a
that to any woman. It's not just
I
Kimmy.
believe
And
that.
I think
I
that's
agree
what
with
people
that.
keep saying to her. He don't respect her. He doesn't respect women. He
Right,
doesn't see women as regular individual humans with feelings, and like he doesn't see them the same as men, basically. Right?
right, right,
So any woman he gets will have to fall into line with his line of thinking. And that's not Kimmy. She knows better. So
right.
yeah.
Yeah, I
Hmm.
agree with that. I agree with that. Symmetry, Kimmy would be more than good. Kimmy needs to run.
Yes,
Exactly.
ma'am.
Maurice
Yes, ma'am.
is a selfish individual, and Kimmy caters to his men. She definitely caters to him
She
because you
did her
know what?
best.
The moment he said, what was the word he said at the end of the conversation? She's like, "Oh, when I mentioned that last season, before they took a break, that when he talks to her, she goes almost into like child form when it comes
You
down to
sure
her."
did. You
Mhm,
mentioned it, and I heard it.
mhm,
This I said
mhm.
that's exactly what Lady Rose
Yeah.
does.
She
I know
almost
she did
she
it.
almost goes into like a child form. So when you do that, she's giving him a lot of power to make him feel like he's superb. But I will tell you this, if they ever broke up, he would be more hurt than she would. He talked big cash money, but when she walk away, she'll probably be she's set. He's an attorney, and I haven't seen not one case he's tried. Not saying he hasn't tried any, but I haven't seen any that he's tried. You have this woman who knows and has had a career as a registered nurse. You have a woman
Hmm.
who knows and is working as a real estate agent. You have a woman who knows and is working as a broker. You have a woman who knows and has a title company. All of that works hand in hand. She knows the business. So
That's
how
right.
would you be able to maneuver around her? Now, please hit the share and like and subscribe button. Please comment. I'm enjoying these comments. You guys are making my night, believe it or not. The baby voice took me out. Cassandra, when I heard, I was like, I said you always act like a baby around this man. Yes, you got to stop that. Kimmy's
That baby
behavior
voice,
towards her
those
spouse
baby voice
that
would
made me
speak.
think of
Yeah.
Wendy from the Housewives, this little baby. Exactly. It's like, oh, girl, shake that. You got to act like a grown woman because you're giving him too much power over you. That's why he believes you'll roll over and take it whenever you want to give it to you.
Shit.
Oh,
I
forget
wish.
that
Shit.
bull swanky panky.
That studio should have been turned out. The next man, listen.
Do you hear me?
They
Maurice
should have
doesn't
made a
want
plan to go together on together, and I would have said, "I'm gonna go on with you, baby." We would have
right
turned that studio out. You hear me?
upside down,
You
upside
embarrass
down.
me, I embarrass you. See, how do we stop being ignorant? Okay.
And then
Mm-hmm.
you went. Then before the episode ended, the season ended. Before you took a break, you went on and said that I don't want to talk about it. You were alluding to a divorce. You again. She said you keep saying things that hurt me. You
The
keep doing
man
it
don't
publicly.
come on.
Crazy man.
Lady Rowe, that man said that when she said the divorce, like the way he took it, like they just going through the motions to me. It's one of those. Neither one of us want to be the first. One of them things.
There you go. Neither of us want to be the first one to say goodbye.
Yep.
Cause neither one of us.
Them old songs hit all the net. They hit it on the head all
Yes,
the time. There's always an old school song that'll fit your
baby.
situation.
My best friend Mama
Hmm.
say, baby, the blues it tells a whole story. Just listen to it. Maurice doesn't want to take in the fact that she's older, she's in remission, sexual drive changed. All he cares about. That's all, girl. And I bet he has a
Listen,
tube of KY next to his bed and all, either that or some Vaseline all day long. Seems like Maurice might have been the golden child of the Scott home
hmm
because we hear Marcel speaking about certain things when they were kids. Yeah, I believe so too.
bam, you hit it.
And
Bam.
I think it may have been because he's the lighter guy. He's the lighter skinned boy. And I'm not saying that is it, but who knows? Because I think he's
He's the
older.
oldest, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So the
Mama,
firstborn son, especially in any family, a firstborn son is always
girl,
like revered. And I think he
it's
did good
true.
things for his family. I do. I think he was a good role model regarding
Mhm.
certain things. I do. I think he was. Because if you have all them kids and the stuff they've been through, for them to be on the right line, boys follow their brothers in a strong way. So there
Yeah,
has to
yeah.
be some good in Maurice. You know what I'm saying? So I'm
Mhm.
not going. But marriage might not just be for this dude. This the second time, dude. You
What
might
you
just need
talking
to
about?
stick a fork in it. Just don't get.
Hmm.
He might not be the marrying kind.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Y'all talking
So
about because he
yeah,
high
I didn't
yellow.
want to
Y'all
say it because
funny.
he high yellow. Definitely. Well, we up to number one. Y'all ready? Let me see. Where can I find it? Here we go. And number one on today's list is Miss Destiny. Destiny got number one. And we're going to let Queen Script tell you why she feels like Destiny should be number one.
Okay, finally. Okay. Finally, baby Destiny gave us everything. Okay. We got her origin story, her background, the trauma she's experienced, the strength she's developed, because of all this. And then her feminine energy, she still carries it, right? So
Hmm.
when you hear somebody's real life story like that, it kind of changes how you look at them. And Lady Road, one thing I always said to you, the way I appreciate about you and the way you're reviewing the show now is that you're remembering that these are real people, right? So yes, it's entertainment, but these are still real people with real
She's a
lives.
human. Right, right.
And Destiny showed us that with her dad, her substitute, her mom, stepmom. That lady
Mhm.
is a beautiful soul, beautiful soul. Heard about
Right.
the tragedy of her brother. I mean, her siblings. She didn't even know she had that many after her and her brother. They're the only two that live with their mother. They don't want to meet them. Like Destiny had a lot going on. Then to wrap it up at the table with Tisha, and I don't know why anybody ever try to come for Destiny. Cause baby Destiny don't play. She don't back
At
down. I
all.
love that. And do it
Mhm.
looking pretty. And I know she smelled good because that rich girl, that she has, that stuff smells really good, just to let y'all know. My daughter took the spray for me. She loved it. But I hit my cream. But Destiny to me, she gave it up. Like I'm ready. I remember someone, you know, they've been keeping her like Cinderella. They've been
Right,
keeping her like,
right.
keep her out of here, keep her out of here. And it's like, yo, why did y'all do this? You just kind of messed up the show. So there's been a lot of rumors, about the kingdom reign and all that. But whatever he does, I hope he keeps doing what he did with this show because he finally gave us destiny. And it's not attached to a man. It's not attached to money. It's her origin story. Who
That's it.
is she? Why is she the way that she is? Why does she move this way? And I mean, I'm here. I cannot wait for the next episode. Right now, Destiny's number one, and I think from the looks of things, she's going to stay in the top three this season. Hmm.
Well, I'm gonna tell you what I think about Destiny. I believe if you think about the Phoenix, right? The Phoenix is a mythical creature that we say that out of the ashes, it rises and it regenerates itself. Is born again. We talk about this quite often. The phoenix it obtains new life because it rises up out of the ashes of its predecessors. And so when I think about a phoenix, I think about Destiny. I really do think about her. I think about the very fact of everything that has been stacked against this woman. Still, she rose up out of it, right? She was born to a mother who apparently had a habit that she could not break. She ended up in foster care. Somehow or another, her father found out she was in foster care. He went to Detroit and got her. She mentioned in this episode how he wanted to also adopt her brother, but he couldn't because of her grandmother. So apparently the brother was not the father's, just like, they had different dads. That's what I took from that. Otherwise, the grandmother wouldn't have had an option but to let him have his child. We saw that she overcame not having a mother, but having a father. Thank God she had a great godmother who stepped on up and a godmother that stepped to the plate. She talks about how when her dad brought her home that he took her to the godmother, and the dad even talked about this as well, and he said, I'm going to need some help, can you help me with her? And the dad agreed to help her. He agreed, she agreed to help the dad raise Destiny. And Destiny even talked about how she, I gave you a hard time. She said, but you never gave up on me, you kept fighting for me. And I believe with all of my might that this was one of the best parts of this show, this episode that we saw. Hence the reason why Destiny is my number one. Destiny is showing us I have all of these friends. I shouldn't have to choose one. I shouldn't have to choose Martell. I shouldn't have to choose Nell just so I can appease Tisha. right? I shouldn't have to choose anybody. I should be able to be friends with everybody, stay neutral, and it just be a done deal.
You know
Um,
what? You're right.
Go ahead. Oh, okay.
Go
And
ahead.
I appreciate the fact that every time you see Destiny, she's in her feminine energy for the most part. We haven't seen her get out of character to the point where she needed to fight, but we've seen her in her feminine energy. She called it her big D energy. We've seen Destiny give talk about her trauma, the trauma of losing, not being at the home with her mom. She cannot, or she has not given us a lot of the divorce, but we know just by bits and pieces that we've seen, there has been a issue with the divorce. So there we have another trauma. So after overcoming foster, my mother not being there, being placed in foster care, dad coming to your rescue, living with dad, leaving dad's home, going off to college, living your life, getting married, thinking, okay, I'm doing everything right, and then getting in the wrong relationship. Nothing is worse than being in the wrong relationship. So we had the trauma of the marriage. Then she got out of that marriage, and now she's dating around, and you got all the whispers on the internet. Oh, she's a whore. Oh, she's sleeping with this guy. She's sleeping with that guy. She's been with Lance. She's been with Will. She. That adds to the trauma, believe it or not. Um, the very fact that she told us about her mother having these children. I forgot how many it was. I think it's 8, 7 or 8. All these kids, 6 of them she's never met. She's
8
never met
altogether.
8
Yeah.
altogether. Six of which she's never met. One has since passed on, but there's 6 siblings she doesn't even know other than she's found them. She's never met them, never laid eyes on them. So she's going to go to Detroit and meet them. I think that's a great thing. Take us to Detroit. We see that in the previews. We're going to get to see her mother. We're going to get to see the reason why Destiny is who Destiny is. And I am open for this. Trying to think, is there anything else I want to talk? Destiny, did give us the most insight into her personal life this episode. So
And she
that's
stood
why.
on her own.
There we go. There we go. I want to go over here. I saw a comment and I need you to elaborate on it, baby. Where was we at? It
What
wasn't
was the
simple.
comment?
It says
Oh,
Destiny
about
has
me.
no loyalty. Tisha
Oh,
has to
please.
grow up and stop things. These ladies are friends.
Oh, please. This is ridiculous because this Destiny has no loyalty started with someone who was on a series who's no longer there. So that's not a factor. That was just a bunch of nonsense. Because she's taking the same stance she took with that person, which is I'm not picking a side. Her and Martell have known each other since they were children. They have gone through some traumatic things together. He had her back when she was being traumatized and felt in fear for her life. So she is not supposed to cut him off because he's no good and cheats on his wife. That is not her place. She can tell him, you wrong, you this or that, but that's her friend. Now with
I agree.
Tisha and Destiny are cool when it comes to family stuff. I think she pulls her into the family. They were, there for her when a lot of stuff was going on in the previous season. That
Mm-hmm.
does not give you the right to dictate who I speak to and spend time with. You have to understand this is also my job.
That
You
part.
have a different lifestyle than me. You have a different situation. Tisha needs to grow up. I'm sorry. You don't have to like things, but you can't just, it's not always black and white.
It's
And
not.
I think Destiny's been very firm on who she is. You're not going to tell me I cannot be friends with somebody because you fell out with them or you feel they treat me a certain way. That's not how I see it. So
Right.
that's not how I'm going to move, period. And
And
they
it's not
can't
fair.
accept that.
And it's not fair. It's not fair to me for you to say, hey, I saw you talking to this person and I don't like him. So I'm mad at you now. That's not fair. Are we adults or are we still in junior high? In junior high, well, really elementary. I remember telling kids, don't play with her because I don't like her. Remember, that was like
Yeah,
elementary.
she went through a lot. And I mean, Martell was there for her. I don't have to like Martell. I don't. But I
That's
understand why
true.
she stays his friend. I don't like to like how Miss Nell moves a lot of times, but I understand Destiny likes that older woman, mature mother feeling. And we only see them for a few minutes on camera. We don't know how much they talk on the phone every day, how much time they spend going over recipes. You don't know what these people do. So she has a bond with Miss Nell that she feels is very important. And I think she believed her bond with Tisha could withstand that and it's not happening. And so, yeah, I don't feel she's disloyal at all. I just think people try to control her, and she's not with the shits. Period. I'm sorry, didn't mean to cuss, but
It's
she know
okay.
me.
You're fine.
Mm-hmm.
Cassandra said, I still think he was with Funky that night he got arrested. Something in my spirit, but I digress. So you talking about Maurice. Yeah, I agree. I don't know where he was, child.
Oh, the night Maurice got arrested. Oh,
Yeah,
I'm
I
so
don't know.
bad for him.
Yeah. I don't think it's fair to say that Destiny has no loyalty. I find that to be inaccurate. I do too. I
Yeah,
think it's
she's very loyal. I think she's
yeah, I
very
think it's
loyal to a fault.
unfair to a fault. Do you come on now? To a fault. We saw her so loyal to an ex-cast member till she was almost begging her to be her friend again. That's to a fault. So yeah, we ain't gonna say that she's not loyal. I think that there's a lot that goes into this show. And we have to remember these people are human. They're human. How would you in your real life react if my two friends are fighting? I'm not gonna pick a friend. Y'all need to fix this. I'm not even in the middle. In fact, I have a friends when they get into trouble, like, oh girl, I'm not taking your side. I ain't taking your side. Y'all gonna figure that out among yourself. I like both of y'all. I'm gonna take y'all to lunch separately until y'all figure it out. Because we don't go lunch together when y'all be at the table fighting. We're not gonna do that. Yes, Destiny can hold her own. She's real. That's right, all in unity. Destiny is ready to tell a story. She is Susie. And the thing is, I believe she's been ready to tell her story. The thing is,
Thank you. Thank you. Say that part now.
I believe
Please.
she's been ready to tell a story.
Yes.
But I'm gonna tell you something.
Yes.
Denial sometimes is not delay is not always denial. God knew that Destiny needed to tell us her story in 2026. He knew that. He knew that she needed to wait till the ex-cast member was gone so that she could have a clear vision and a clear story. Now we can just get Tisha the mind to behave. If we
That's
get
true.
Tisha to behave, we may be able to get this story clear without any kind of problems. Just
But
in
we
my
want some
opinion,
now. We
y'all.
want a little tea
You're
here
right,
and there
Susie.
now. We gotta have some problems now.
Yeah, Susie, we're not getting on to you. Please don't take that the wrong way. I just really feel like that I'm gonna tell you this with Destiny. I get a little passionate because I feel like she's had an unfair shot at this thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I feel
Yeah,
the
I just
same.
feel like it's just been unfair, and I
Yeah.
don't mean to take that on anybody. I think sometimes when you know a little bit more than what everybody else knows, you just know that she's had an unfair shot. We're just gonna leave it at that.
Yeah.
Destiny Payton has had an unfair shot
Yeah.
at this
Susie. Yeah.
television show. Yeah,
And
she just
I just want to say something to Susie. Susie, when it comes to the show, like this is just for me. I had to kind of reassess how I was looking at people, even the person that left, being so harsh and stuff. And then when we were having conversations, I was talking to different people, not just that I be online with. You really look at it like we don't know these people. They're doing things that I've never done, right? So I have
yeah,
to respect that, right?
right.
I have to respect that these are also black women, right? So when I say, "Oh, I wouldn't do this and that," you hurting the black woman's pocket, like that's not solidarity. So that's something I had to look at, right? So we're reviewing the show, and we're talking about she's not loyal, but we never really knew her. We haven't watched the whole season, and that was always something that kept happening every season before. This
Mhm.
season, what I want to do is kind of hold up and wait before I hold any, assessment, because a
Right.
lot of stuff pops off during the season, and I think that's why this is going to be one of the best seasons they have. And check out her perfume. You may change your mind about her if you get the lotion. It's really nice.
Yeah. But I'm gonna tell you this too. I want you to look at it in another way. Just imagine if you had someone who always held you down, always had your back through it, whatever crap you was going through. This person wasn't there. They said they'd be there. This person wasn't there. They said they'd be there. But that one person was always coming to your rescue. And then at some point or another, there was a group of people who you met through this same person who want you now to turn your back on them, on that person who's been there. Their relationships are totally different. And if you're mature enough, you know how to handle each relationship in the manner in which it should be handled. You said the symmetry said Destiny has a relatable story, whether people want to admit it or not. I totally agree with that. Destiny and Tisha both look stupid in the face. They teamed up on mail. Now look at them, karma.
Oh Lord, no. We're not
Yeah,
even. Please don't address that. Just keep
yeah.
that going. Let's just let people
Okay,
think what they want, but we're not going to talk about people that are no longer on the show.
I
That's
agree
not
with
even.
that.
Yeah. So it was a great. I love doing this, Lady Ro. I'm going to step down and let you close out the
Okay,
show the way you
thank
need to. Thank you for
you.
having me. I
Thank
enjoyed you, lady.
you. I appreciate you.
Have a good
Um,
night, everybody.
Y'all, I want y'all to send a shout out to Queen Script. She did all of the photos. She did the script that we actually used. She did the work. She really did. I think she's found her niche. I believe she has. Yeah, no one has teamed up on anybody. I would also mean not carry a bone back to anyone. That also means not carry a bone uh back to anyone. That's being neutral as well. That's true. We've got to relate to that. You don't go around telling everything, and we know the Destiny did carry a bone back, but I also believe that that also makes the show, because even though this is supposed to be unscripted reality TV, the producers are always giving them scripts. They just are. That's just a fact. That lady turned on Destiny for no reason. Destiny didn't do anything to that lady. Absolutely not. I totally agree. However, if your so-called friend give you a heads up about something, am not telling who. Um yeah, I'm not quite sure what you mean by this, Susie. Mm-mm. Destiny has taken the right stance. She does not have to pick a side. Exactly. I don't think anybody has to pick a side. I think that she should be able to be friends with Tisha, be friends with Martell, be friends with Marsau, everybody she want to be friends with, unless she falls out with them. I believe she should be free to be friends with whoever. Yeah, she's been looking good. Yeah, Destiny, she's in her feminine era, baby. She is actually working it. It's okay not to pick sides. I'm neutral in a lot of relationships. Me too, Symmetry. I am. And when I don't like you, I just don't like you. That's who I am. You're right. Destiny has always been the one to say she wasn't going to pick a side. She has. Tisha has some trying to do. I couldn't believe it. She say pick a side. Yeah, Tisha did this episode. She kind of shocked us. Tisha was number 5. So if you have a chance once this video is over, go back to the beginning. She was our 5th person that we chose, and Tisha really surprised me this episode. I saw her in a different light that I didn't really like, because I don't know, Tisha. I don't like this for you, Tisha. Oh, I don't like that for you, Tisha. I wondered, did she know Carlos was gonna paint her as a ho ho? That was crazy. No, I think y'all did that. It was Carlos. I think they put the stuff out there and y'all ran with it. Because if you think about it, dating has nothing to do with sleeping with anyone. Dating is just that, dating, going out, getting to know someone. That means that you guys are the people who believe that have been the ones out here being a ho ho. Because when you date, you just go on dates. You don't get in the bed with everybody you date. That's the way it's supposed to be. And this lady has told us over and over she's celibate. And I'm a witness. You can be celibate and date. I am a witness for the Lord. Amen. Tisha has some maturing to do. Exactly. What grown women say, pick a side. Susie, I figured that's what you were talking about. And I totally agree. As soon as you ask me to pick a side, I'm going to choose me. Definitely. I told you about, I have a t-shirt that says Team Me. And baby, I wear it proudly. Team Me. That I am on my team. I'm good. Native New York, Harlem Rise. Exactly. Now y'all know that the show has to have something to set things off, even if it's petty or immature. That's Tisha's role. Exactly. Exactly. We got to, but I don't like it. 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 Pretty Riri speaks. I am choosing me first from the jump. Exactly. When you on an airplane, when before you take off, that the stewardess gets in the front and they start telling you all the things, and they have that thing that come down the air mask. In case the cabin loses pressure, an air mask will drop down from the ceiling. You take the air mask and you put your mask on first before helping your neighbor. That's what they say. So you know what? Choose you first before you can help someone else. You got to work on you. I gotta put me first, Lucius. That is so true. Symmetry, definitely. Tisha's dead wrong for the childish behavior. I agree with you, Susie. I agree. We got Tisha had to come to the front of the class today because she was acting up. Tisha, we like Tisha. You said great commentary. Born and raised New York City, Harlem, and Cab Top. Cab. I don't know what is attack. I know where Harlem is. I know where New York is. I love Harlem. They have the best soul food restaurants in Harlem, in New York. There is no one that can make me unlike you but you. Exactly. And I feel that same way. Great commentary. Thank you guys for coming down here. I didn't think this would be long. I had given it about 45 minutes, but y'all, this was so good. We're gonna try to make this a weekly thing that we do. I am truly, truly grateful to Queen Script for having this idea. This was all her. She actually suggested this to me months ago, and I was like, I don't know if I have time for all that. And I even told her, girl, I don't know if I got time for this. And she said, go ahead and block Stacy Bell. Stacy, it's been nice knowing you, girl. Thanks for coming here. Thank you. We actually talked about it, and I really enjoyed it. Really, really enjoyed it. Yes, please hit the like button. Chad, we don't play around here with that mess. If you don't like the show, you don't even have to comment. We don't need to know. Just like on the airplane. You don't have to announce your departure or your landing. All right. Adults should realize that. You don't have to. We don't care. We don't care what you feel like. We're over talking about what we're talking about. You can join in or you can leave. It's no big deal. No one hates you or dislikes you. I just think the people need to be mature about what they do out here on social media. Okay, that's it. No skin off my back. Hopefully, no skin off yours. If you don't like the show, just don't watch it. It's not that serious. It really isn't. This is just, I want y'all to remember one thing. TV is for our entertainment. You should be entertained or not entertained. So that means you should either watch it or not watch it. It's that simple. You don't have, no one's going to hold anything over your head and make you watch these shows. You don't have to do it. It's up to you. You. No one else. It's up to you if you want to watch it. It's up to you if you want to, engage in those things. But this is all for entertainment. None of this should be taken personal. Not any of it. When we learn to stop taking stuff personal, the more we'll be able to watch it and move on. Back in the day, I remember my parents watching Dallas, Knots Landing, Falcon Crest, and my parents never sat at home and talked about how much they hated this is trash. They watched the shows or they didn't watch the shows. We got reality TV and everybody wants to dislike who they dislike and they want you to dislike it as well. That is not going to happen. We're going to like what we're going to like. We're going to not like what we don't like. Things I don't like, I don't entertain it, period. Anywho, people don't like the show, but they still watching. It's unbelievable. Susie, girl, you need to pass the offering plate on that one. They don't like it, but they keep watching it. Just don't watch it. Save yourself the trauma and the drama and the stress of just sitting there aggravating yourself. Because things that I don't like, it aggravates me to have to sit and watch it. It just does. It aggravates me to have to sit and be like, oh, this is torture. I wouldn't do that to myself. I wouldn't. My anxiety level. Oh, yeah, Susie. I forgot to mention that. And by the way, Love and Marriage Huntsville has been picked up for another season. So it's not going nowhere, whether we like it or not. All right. All right. All minds clear. May the Lord watch between you and me while we are absent one for another. If no one told you today they love you, I love you. And there ain't a thing you can do about it, but pray about it. I'm telling you, you better seek God because I will love you anyway. I love you with the love of the Lord. Bye-bye.